January the 20th, Ecclesiastes 7:3. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by the sadness of the countenance, the heart is made better. When sorrow comes under the power of divine grace, it works out a manifold ministry in our lives. Sorrow reveals unknown depths in the soul and unknown capabilities of experience and service. Gay, trifling people are always shallow and never suspect the little meannesses in their nature. Sorrow is God's plowshare that turns up and subsoils the depths of the soul, that it may yield richer harvests. If we had never fallen, or were in a glorified state, then the strong torrents of divine joy would be the normal force to open up all our soul's capacities. But in a fallen world, sorrow with despair taken out of it is the chosen power to reveal ourselves to ourselves. Hence it's sorrow that makes us think deeply, long, and soberly. Sorrow makes us go slower and more considerately and introspect our motives and dispositions. It's sorrow that opens up within us the capacities of the heavenly life, and it's sorrow that makes us willing to launch our capacities on a boundless sea of service for God and our fellows. We may suppose a class of indolent people living at the base of a great mountain range who had never ventured to explore the valleys and canyons back in the mountains. And someday, when a great thunderstorm goes careening through the mountains, it turns the hidden glens into echoing trumpets and reveals the inner recesses of the valley, like the convolutions of a monster shell. And then the dwellers at the foot of the hills are astonished at the labyrinths and unexplored recesses of a region so nearby, and yet so little known. So it is with many souls, who indolently live on the outer edge of their own natures until great thunderstorms of sorrow reveal hidden depths within that were never hitherto suspected. God never uses anybody to a large degree until after he breaks that one all to pieces. Joseph had more sorrow than all the other sons of Jacob, and it led him out into the ministry of bread for all nations. For this reason, the Holy Spirit said of him, "Joseph is a fruitful bough, by a well whose branches run over the wall." Genesis 49:22. It takes sorrow to widen the soul. The dark brown mold's upturned by the sharp-pointed plow, and I've a lesson learned. My life is but a field, stretched out beneath God's sky, some harvest rich to yield. Where grows the golden grain? Where faith? Where sympathy? In a furrow, cut by pain. Every person and every nation must take lessons in God's school of adversity. We can say, "Blessed is the night, for it reveals to us the stars." In the same way, we can say, "Blessed is sorrow, for it reveals God's comfort." The floods washed away home and mill, all the poor man had in the world. But as he stood on the scene of his loss after the water had subsided, broken-hearted and discouraged, he saw something shining in the bank which the waters had washed bare. "It looks like gold," he said. It was gold. The flood which had beggared him made him rich. So it is ofttimes in life.